talk to her and I'm will play in your face and your face over and over and over and over and over again. And she'll be like, watch what I'm about to do. Watch what I'm about to say. And it's sad that a nigga like to, really like to play games with me when I'm at my most vulnerable time, when I'm not the most confident. He likes to play games with me because he knows I'm not an easy girl. And I've really been sparing you. You've been feeling yourself, nigga, because of your album and shit. And you've really been doing me dirty after some years that I'm helped you. Not even a thank you that I got for your. And it's so crazy that I gotta go fucking internet because whenever I tell you something, you don't take it seriously. And I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of it.
I'm over all this. You can already feel tension rising just from the way she was talking too. And it wasn't calm at all. It felt raw, emotional, and completely straight messy. She was basically saying this man would just sit there and keep playing in her face over and over like it was some twisted game he couldn't stop. And she made it clear this wasn't random. This was happening at her lowest moments, when she wasn't feeling confident, when she was vulnerable, when she was already down. That's when he would step in and start moving strange, pushing buttons, testing limits, acting like he knew she wouldn't react the same way. She even said he would hype himself up before doing it, like, watch what I'm about to do, watch what I'm about to say. And that right there shows everything about the mindset. That's not person making mistakes. I'm tired of it. You can already feel the tension building up just from how she was speaking. And it wasn't calm at all. It was raw, emotional, and straight up messy. She was basically saying this man would sit there and play in her face again and again like it was some kind of game he couldn't stop playing. And she made it clear this wasn't random. This was happening at her lowest moments, when she wasn't feeling confident, when she was vulnerable, when she was already down. That's when he would step in and start moving weird, pushing buttons, testing limits, acting like he knew she wouldn't react the same way. She even said he would hype himself up before doing it, like, watch what I'm about to do, watch what I'm about to say. And that right there says everything about the mindset. That's not someone making mistakes. And she made it clear she was done. Exhausted, drained, fed up with the same cycle repeating over and over. Now, here's where things take a darker turn, because this wasn't just another cheating situation that blew up like before. According to reports, Cardi B didn't just walk away over Offset stepping out again. It was way deeper than that. The real shock came when rumors started circulating that her own sister, Hennessy, allegedly admitted to being involved in a threesome with Offset. Yeah, that's the kind of twist that flips everything upside down. Suddenly, all the silence between Cardi and Hennessy, the weird distance people noticed, the tension that didn't make sense before, it all started connecting. Because, let's be real, cheating alone never made Cardi leave before. Public embarrassment didn't push her out either. She stood by Offset through scandal after scandal, supported him publicly, and even took heat herself just to protect the relationship. So, when she eventually exploded like that on live and began going off, people instantly knew something bigger had to be going on behind the scenes. And now, sources are saying this was the breaking point. Not just disloyalty, but disloyalty inside the family. That's a whole different level. That's not something you brush off or come back from easily. That kind of situation doesn't just ruin a relationship. It breaks everything around it, including family bonds. When you really look back at everything, the old story doesn't fully add up anymore. People always believed Offset's cheating was the final straw, but if we're being honest, that pattern had been there from the start. He was cheating before they even got married, and Cardi still chose to stay.
So what happened?
Even after marriage, she publicly defended him, stood 10 toes down, and made it clear she wanted to fix things instead of walking away. She even said it herself. It's like everybody is coming down on my neck. Like, why are you not leaving him? I'm rich. I know I'm talented. I know I could get any man I want. But I want to work out my issues with my man. And I don't have to explain why this is my life. I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna make my decision. It's not right what he did, but people don't know what I did because I ain't no angel. And that statement right there showed she wasn't planning to leave just because of cheating. She doubled down on that mindset, too, saying, well, if people are talking about it and keep asking me how I feel about the situation, why not let them know right or wrong? No, it's not right for a man to cheat. But what do you want me to do? Go sleep with another man, start all over again, and get cheated on again? This stuff happens to everyone. And it could be you, too. People handle their relationships differently. So, yeah, she made it very clear she was willing to tolerate a lot. That's why this new situation is different. Because if she stayed through all those cheating scandals, all those public embarrassments, all those messy situations, then something way more serious had to happen to finally push her out. People thought maybe it was the whole situation with Cardi and the drama that came with it. That was already messy enough. Another woman, more public chaos, more online noise. And honestly, that alone would have been enough for most people to mentally check out. But even then, it still didn't fully clarify why everything fell the way it did. Now, with these new allegations about Offset and Hennessy allegedly having a wild night together, it starts making a lot more sense. And before people jump too fast, it's important to say the streets had been talking about Hennessy not liking Offset for a long time. She reportedly didn't trust him, didn't respect how he treated Cardi, and felt like he was constantly playing her sister. There were even claims that Hennessy believed Offset was love-bombing Cardi, doing big public gestures every time he got caught cheating just to smooth things over. Like when he proposed publicly even though they were already married, or when he interrupted her Rolling Loud performance in front of a massive crowd just to beg for forgiveness. Those moments looked romantic on the surface, but some people saw them as calculated moves to control the narrative. So when you stack all of that together, the history, the cheating, the public drama, the tension between sisters, and now these new allegations, yeah, this situation is way more deeper than what people first thought. So what actually went down behind the scenes? Because this is where things stop being messy and start getting straight up dark. According to what sources are claiming, Offset allegedly got Hennessy intoxicated. And while she wasn't fully in control, he pressured her into a situation involving another man. That's not just a scandal, that's crossing a line you don't come back from. Now, nobody knows every single detail of what happened after that point, but one thing is clear. Everything blew up the second Cardi found out. And suddenly, that explosive live session where she went off wasn't just random anger anymore. It started making sense because when she said he would play in her face over and over again, that wasn't just about cheating anymore. That was about disrespect on a whole different level. She described how he would literally move like he was proud of it, saying things like, "Watch what I'm about to do. Watch what I'm about to say." Like he was testing how far he could go. And she made it clear he would pick the worst timing too. When she was vulnerable, when she wasn't feeling confident, when she was already down, that's when he'd start playing games, knowing exactly how to hit where it hurts. And the frustration in her voice said everything. She kept repeating, "I really been sparing you," like she had way more she could expose but chose not to. Meanwhile, she felt like he had been doing her dirty for years with zero appreciation, not even a thank you after everything she tolerated and held together. That's the kind of build-up that doesn't just disappear, it explodes. She even said she had to take it to the internet just to be heard. That's wild. Imagine telling someone something directly and they don't take you seriously, so now you have to go public just to make it land. That's when you know the situation is beyond repair. And when she said she was tired, you could hear it. That wasn't temporary frustration. That was someone completely drained. But when you step back and really look at the bigger picture, it gets even darker. Because if these reports are even close to true, this wasn't just about Offset disrespecting his wife. This was about him violating trust inside the family itself. And that's why everything collapsed the way it did. Even though Hennessy might not have been at fault in that situation, the damage still hit. Because when something like that involves your own sister, it creates distance, tension, and a kind of awkwardness that doesn't just go away. And for a while, things between them weren't the same at all. And that also explains why Cardi B's family started pushing her harder to leave. Back in 2024, there were already whispers saying her family was worried about how far things had gone. One person even said her husband Offset was disgusting for cheating on her when he knows how much pressure she's under. Her family wants her to leave him because they are worried he'll give her a disease because he cheats so much. That's not just a concern, that's people around her seeing the damage in real time. And when you look at everything stacked together, the cheating, the public embarrassment, the constant disrespect, and now this situation involving her own family, yeah, this wasn't something she could just brush off anymore. This wasn't one more mistake, this was the breaking point. Because Cardi didn't just wake up one day and decide she was done. She endured years of chaos, defended him publicly, and kept trying to make it work. But this right here crossed into territory that changes how you see someone forever. If these reports are true, Offset didn't just ruin the marriage, he shattered trust on every level possible. And once that kind of trust is gone, there's no apology, no explanation, no grand gesture that can fix it. The damage is already done. The chapter is closed. And now everything that comes next is just fallout waiting to happen. So now I gotta ask you, was this really the final straw? Or do you think things were already beyond saving way before this point? Let me know what you think down below. And if you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe for more breakdowns like this.